Hello, this is Kris of the Comic Timing crew here with what I think will be a Patreon exclusive unless Ian changes his mind, in which I will just kind of talk about what I've been reading recently, which is a lot of manga. I think among the Comic Timing crew, I'm probably the most outspoken of the manga enthusiasts. Not that people like Donovan aren't into it, but I do kind of evangelize, and also I've done panels at anime cons with Ian Levinstein. We've been doing panels for I feel like 20 years now, which is just crazy when you really think about it. We're on a bit of a hiatus, but we'd love to do it again, and we'll see how we do with Anime NYC next year. So it is now October, but back in August was Anime NYC, which usually takes place in November, but now it has made a permanent move to August, which was actually a great idea for it. They got so many more people, I think, because kids are out of school. Like the high schoolers have the day off. College students may or may not have returned to classes yet. So I think it's a really good spot for them. But in terms of how I feel, it definitely put me in the mood to read more manga, watch more anime, and I've been doing that. And also, this overlapped with the Olympics. So I was totally yay sports and yay manga. So, of course, I read Haikyu. If you haven't heard of Haikyu because you're in a closet or you just really just pay no attention to anime and manga and all of that, it is a volleyball manga that would be a Japanese comic about a high school team. Specifically, it's about one student. Shoyo Hinata is his full name, but a lot of the time the characters are just kind of referred to by their surnames because this is a team. It's what's printed on their jerseys and all that stuff. He becomes really, really interested in volleyball when he's in junior high school because he sees this player on the TV called the Little Giant, and he is short. The Little Giant is short, just like Hinata is. And seeing this kid play makes Hinata realize that he too could be a volleyball player. So he becomes obsessed with volleyball. And this obsession lasts him into high school, where he decides to go to the same high school that the Little Giant went to. That's Karasuno. And when he's there, he finds out that one of his teammates is going to be this kid that he played against in junior high school, whose team totally beat his ass. And he decided this kid was his rival. Except now that they're on the same team, they're teammates, and they discover that this kid, Kageyama, he's basically a very good setter. That's the person who sets up the ball to be spiked. And teamed up with Hinata, they're basically unstoppable. And the series just kind of covers 1 year of time in the Karasuno High School team, male volleyball team, from when they kind of get the team back together and they try to get like other players to join because the team has been going through like a low point in its history. And this is their chance to kind of reclaim their past glory of the Little Giant, as I previously mentioned. And it just goes from getting the team together, the practices, the early matches, and eventually, like, playing official matches against other schools, all the way through to national. There are 45 volumes of this. I had already read about 15 of them before this year. So I went through the last 30 volumes in about 2 weeks, which I understand is an absolutely insane rate, but that's just the way it is sometimes with mangas. Like it's like eating potato chips, eating Lay's. Just you can't eat just one. And the Shonen Jump app makes it really easy to just keep binging issue after issue after issue. So it's a really interesting title, I think, if you are interested in the art of comics, because Furodate, the mangaka, is absolutely fantastic at illustrating motion. We talk a lot about people like Kirby, how they're able to make like panels come alive, make punches look like they're actually really hitting. And Forodate is excellent at showing the range of motion, like where the ball is being hit and where it's landing. I told Ian about this one particular panel that I can't stop thinking about, and it's with Kageyama. He's serving the ball And then he runs forward to actually set it. And this is happening in probably like 1 to 2 seconds. And the way the panel is it's actually a two-page spread, and it shows him on the right side, because you read manga from right to left. On the right side, serving, and then like then you see him again, like he's in transition, moving forward. His arms are changing position, and there's like about four stutters, like four instances, after images, I guess you could call them, until it reaches the left side of the spread, and he's got his hands up to set the ball. And you can portray these type of things in anime, but I think being able to really study it and just look at it kind of gets across the technical expertise that's at play here. I have been watching the anime and I do enjoy it, but the problem I have is that it does kind of flatten out and disappear the expertise of the mangaka. And it also takes a lot of the quirks out, because I think it's production IG that did the anime, and it has a weird sort of like Vaseline pastel, like smothered over look to the anime. It's not ugly or anything, but it doesn't have that crispness that you would have of a black and white comic. So I really enjoyed looking at the manga instead of the anime, because I can look at the art, I can see the quirks, like when he decides to do like squish face or weird expressions. The artistry, the emotions of the artist come through more than they do for the anime. Though I'm still going to watch the anime. I'm about 20 episodes in, there's 85, and then there's the two movies. I think both of them are out in Japan, but only one of them is out here right now. And the show and the movies cover the high school part of it. Because here's the other interesting thing about Haikyu is that, yeah, like I said, it covers exactly 1 year of time, starting at the beginning of the school year, and then it just follows the team throughout their entire run in nationals until their end of the run in nationals. No spoilers here, but all of a sudden it takes this 4 year jump after that, and you get like a quick recap, like, oh yeah, this is what happened during the second year of high school, this is what happened during the third year of high school, and then Hinata decided to move to Brazil and get into beach volleyball. And that's kind of where we jump in, is that he's been playing beach volleyball because he's still obsessed with volleyball, and he thinks he's going to learn more by playing this different type of volleyball. So now he's an elder teen, he's 19, on the verge of 20. And then after showing some of the beach volleyball, it jumps ahead to Hinata's back in Japan and he's playing professional volleyball. All the characters are coming to watch this match where it's Hinata versus Kageyama, and they said it's the first match they've played against each other since junior high school. And, you get to see where everybody's playing, what jobs they have, whether or not they continued in volleyball or they went and got different jobs, like they went into retail or they went into entertainment. Some of them became lawyers. One person became a cop, which I saw is not a very popular choice among the fandom. And so, like, the last few volumes just kind of focus on this one match. And then it just, when that match is over, there's just a little bit of thing, oh, hey, they went to the Olympics. And then the comic is over. And so this got a really mixed reaction online. Like, I was Googling it, I was looking to see what people said. It is a very controversial decision to sort of end it with this time jump. And I can see why people are uncomfortable with it, because of the fact that this comic was so meticulous. Like, it covers this 1 year in excruciating detail over the course of 40 volumes. And it's showing you every match, not even every play, but it does show you a lot of the plays in extreme detail. And then it would take like different diversions to kind of give you background on the different characters. And then all of a sudden we have this time jump with some little interludes just to fill you in on what happened during the time jump. And there's this one match, and then we jump. Like, the pacing is completely off, and that actually did bug me. I also kind of have a thing against time jumps to end a series. Like, I have no problem with them in the middle of a story, but when they're used to wrap up a story, I am starting to find them kind of cheap, maybe a little bit lazy. Like, if you had more story to tell more story. It's not that they're always bad, but there are some really bad examples. Like, I hated the time jump in Harry Potter. For me, the perfect ending when you read the books is Harry in Dumbledore's office being congratulated by all the portraits. We didn't need to see any more. We didn't need to see Harry, married to Ginny, having kids. And we certainly didn't need a sequel book where Harry is just a sad middle-aged person. Honestly, I am kind of against showing teen characters as they grow up because I don't need to see that. That's real life. Like I can see my own high school classmates and what their lives became. But yeah, like it's not just Harry Potter. Like I remember that Brian K. Vaughan did it with both Ex Machina and Y the Last Man. And while neither is a bad ending, the fact that he did it for two of his big acclaimed series in a row it just felt cheap. It just felt lazy. I think he's getting around it with Saga because Saga is already being told in flashback, so that's a little easier. What's also frustrating about Haikyu doing it is the fact that there's been a few like little sequel chapters that appear in Shonen Jump now and then, and they take place years later, and they just tell these little vignettes. And it does feel like Furodate had more story to tell. But at the same time, if he went into years 2 and 3 of high school with the same detail he did year 1, that would have been, over 100 volumes. I don't think he wants to be doing this for the rest of his life. He doesn't want to turn into Oda, with One Piece, how that's been going on for over 25 years at this point. But anyway, I do recommend Haikyuu. I think it's a great series. I think it's a lot of fun. And I definitely recommend checking it out on the Shonen Jump app. You could get the volumes, but again, there's 45 of them, so it's easier to just have it on your phone. And it reads really great on a phone screen. Like some manga have too much detail to read on a small phone screen, but Haikyuu, it's just very clean. Like the action is very well broadcast. So if you dig sports and you really want something that's just the sports, it doesn't have any of the high school drama around it. It really just focuses on volleyball. You will learn so much about volleyball reading it. I highly recommend giving Haikyu a read. Again, 45 volumes. It ran from 2012 to 2020. It is finished. You can get the entire story. And it's still pretty popular, so you can probably find other people to talk about online. So that's what I've been reading recently. And thank you for listening.